For me, as you guys know, I'm always passionate about understanding what makes people finally pursue their dreams. When I'm asking this question, it's always interesting to notice that it boils down to specific moments when people realize the value of their life and how terrible it would be for them to meet themselves one day and feel profoundly disappointed that they haven't done that one thing which they always wanted to do. Hi, after more than 30 years of travel, I finally arrived in Aspen, Colorado. Not 30 years. Well, after more than 30 hours of flights from Beijing to San Francisco to Denver and then to Aspen, Pitkin, I'm finally here and I survived the first day of this workshop. I wanted to share with you a few of the first impressions while they're still warm as breath. Let's get down to it. The best part of this trip so far, it's the first day, yeah? We only had orientation. The best part of the day so far was meeting other authors, learning about their writing process, and learning about how much time it took them to get to the point that I know, trying to understand their creative process, especially if they're writing another style. So I write fiction, romance, and some people are writing fantasy or sci fi. And it's really interesting for me to discover how some people preserve their ability to be creative in the crazy ways, like a kid is, making all those connections between topics which might seem completely unordinary to an adult brain, but which are so natural to kids. And I found it incredible that there are people out there who manage to maintain this ability and this creative power. So I'm looking forward to learning from their experience. And of course, the most interesting part of talking with these people for me, as you guys know, I'm always passionate about understanding what makes people finally pursue their dreams. When I'm asking this question, it's always interesting to notice that it boils down to specific moments when people realize the value of their life and how terrible it would be for them to meet themselves one day and feel profoundly disappointed that they haven't done that one thing which they always wanted to do. So there are people who finally realized this and decided to retire early and to pursue their dream. But there are also people who decided to just take a risk and manage multiple identities, have part-time job or find a job that allows them to also focus on writing or wake up at 5 and write before work to just make it. And for me this is highly inspirational because it proves that when you really want to do something, you either do it and you take the entire risk or you find ways to include it in your moderate risk or low risk scenarios. If not, it's just going to boil inside you and consume you until it becomes a sore regret. It was also interesting to notice that although I believed I was the most unexperienced of all of them, and therefore I am entitled to feeling inappropriate and anxious about the entire experience. It was funny to realize that we've been all anxious. Everyone is terrified of having their works analyzed by other writers and have your thoughts dissected, especially people writing memoirs, for example. It's other people looking into your gut and telling you something is wrong with your thoughts, or that any type of feedback that you receive can be perceived as a direct attack, which is not the case, but that's terrifying. It's great to know who these people are beyond their writing aspirations, to understand that, contrary to what I expected, most of these people also have their own job and juggle responsibilities for their corporate identity, with responsibility for their children, 1, 2, 3, with the responsibility of being good partners. Being a writer is always a matter of managing your different identities and fulfilling the responsibilities you have in your life, because not everyone affords to invest everything in this dream that's not necessarily the most money making activity. It was also great to learn that not everyone has been doing this for their entire life, which gives me that freedom of mind that I haven't lost my moment, I haven't lost my time, and I can be patient with the process while I get to where I want to be. And more than that, I realized that, there are different types of audiences that you can write for, and the type of writing that makes me most afraid and scared is not the type of writing I necessarily aspire to. I don't want to write right now the type of literature pieces that will win the Nobels of literature, because, first of all, that's not an aspiration that I think I am entitled to for the moment. But I do want to write and put in words my emotions and other people's feelings in stories that can resonate with a large audience, stories that are profoundly human and accessible to everyone. So, in this sense, another advantage of me participating in this workshop is that I get to finally have terms of comparisons, and not in the sense of good or bad, but in a sense or where do I position my work and craftsmanship. I'm jet lagged. Where do I put my writing out there? Is it something more poetic, lyrical? Is it something more commercial? Who do I want to read my writing, basically? And in this sense, it's going to be easier for me to tailor and to edit what I have so far. But also to know that, just because my work doesn't sound in a certain way that earned a Pulitzer Prize or a Nobel Literature Prize doesn't mean my work is bad. It's just different categories. Another thing that I discovered is how kind this community is. I don't think there is competition over the attention span of the readers, because in a way or another, everyone is trying to be their most authentic self and to craft a piece that will attract attention on its own without trying to steal or to be in competition with others. And there's this sense of support and learning from everyone else, from other authors, for receiving feedback, which I think it's incredible. And it's not something you encounter everywhere in other industries. In my case, particularly, this experience means a lot. And in a way, it's almost my symbolic way of pursuing the American dream. Traveling to US airports is my first impression of US ever. What impressed me the most and confirmed my beliefs about US in general are the people. They are so open to a point where they find it so easy to get into very personal topics with complete strangers. In every single car I rode today, airport shuttles, there was always someone asking the others about their travel plans, where they live, what they're doing for a living, which I find is quite interesting as a European, where people are a bit more private. I came all the way from Beijing, and this is my largest investment in education ever. But I know it's gonna be a turning point in my life, because I already feel the troves and hidden secrets that I'm going to uncover and that are going to help me move further my work and my writing, to get the confidence that I can make it. which I think on its own, it's a great thing to achieve. So, what's going to happen during these days? We are going to have focus sessions when we're going to read the others participants' works and share feedback, what works, and maybe some questions to help the author improve their work. We're also going to receive feedback from the author coordinating our workshop. Then we're going to have kind of like lectures delivered by the faculties, which are established people in the industry on topics ranging from how you publish a book to how you write when you meet the creative block to how you brand a book even when it's published so that it becomes a success. I am so excited to learn from the faculty of professors. For me, it's just crazy to know that I get a chance to work with people who had their works transformed into movies or into Netflix series or into other mass media. It's crazy just to be in the presence of these people and to have an opportunity to learn from them and from their capacity to shape the minds of so many people. So I guess the entire workshop is a toolkit to get yourself started as a writer, which is amazing for me. And again, the most expensive stuff that's intangible that I'm going to get out of this workshop is profound confidence and belief in myself that I can do it. So, as a conclusion for my first day of arrival, I don't regret anything. I don't regret any cent invested in this educational opportunity and professional development opportunity. I feel tired as stuck. I am completely devastated by jet lag. My body feels as if I went for a techno rave, stayed up until 12 p.m. the next day. My brain is foggy. I feel like my eyes are going to shut any moment now. But at the same time, cohabitating in my body with this complete exhaustion, there is a feeling, a surging feeling of happiness and content and peacefulness that I can't describe yet, that I recognize as one of those peaceful moments that I had as a kid when I was looking at nature and dreaming big about how my life would look like. But at that point, I never imagined that one summer day I'm going to be in one of the most expensive, fantasy looking, mountainous, natural spots in the United States, fighting for my dream to become a writer, surrounded by people with common aspirations, but also by established big shots in the industry who are working in the companies shaping the world's vision and perception of reality. So, to be able to see that link between the kid I was and the woman I'm becoming, that feeling is priceless.